Hello YouTube, this is that Yi guy. Today we got the patch note for the July update, which is coming out after the maintenance. So this is actually a lot of very exciting stuff. I want to go over everything and to just give you my thought on it. The first one we're getting is the Arcanist. So we knew this class was coming. People who are excited for a new mage class should really test it out before you actually play Arcanist, because it is very mechanics heavy class. You have to manage your cards, you have to be aware of your sequencing of your skills, of buffs. Now this might sound like a lot of fun, but keep in mind that you have to do all that on top of doing all the mechanics in the Legion raids, so that can get overwhelming. But for people who enjoy that playstyle, this could be a really fun and rewarding class for you to play. Next thing is the Valtan Legion raid Infernal difficulty. Now this is nothing you have to rush at all to do, and this is really something you should do with a coordinated group of people. There is no rewards that will help you in your progression if you don't run this. So you're not going to get holy materials or anything by beating this difficulty, and you only ever need to beat it once. So there is absolutely no rush for it. Scale balance will be applied. So think about this, it will be a raid as if everyone is at exactly just the right gear level for this content. So you can actually choose your loadout and no one can make mistakes pretty much. And the reward is literally just titles, achievement, something where you can show off how good you are at the game. Next up is a Mahara Festival and the Water Pop Arena. So this is the new event we're getting, and ideally comes with excellent rewards. So we're gonna see what that is. I will do a calculation on the shops like I usually do. I will do a short guide on the event tomorrow when this comes out as well. So one thing I'm gonna say is that this is gonna be a fun PvP event. You're gonna have two teams. The arena is gonna shrink, and then you're gonna try to use your skills, use your attacks to knock the other team off the arena. So I'm very excited to check it out. Similar to the challenge guardians we get every week, this will be for Abyssal dungeons, and we're gonna get rewards similar to the guardians. And this is a nice chunk of honing enhancement materials that we're gonna get. And this is gonna be fun too, because it's been a while since I had to do the mechanics in these Abyssal dungeons. The stagger mechanics, the different boss mechanics. So it should be quite fun, and yeah, everything will be balanced like the challenge contents. So you can't cheese it by being over geared or over level for it. The Punica PowerPass and the Hyper Express event. So the Punica PowerPass will help people who already have a character who has beaten Punica. Now you can make an alt character much easier by taking them all the way to 1302 directly. Now this is Event Power Pass that expires on September 28th. I want to stop at this section to kind of give you like a little trick that I learned from people in my Discord. So what you can do is that if this pass expires on 28th and we're not gonna get the new classes before that, that means that you kind of have to use the pass before it expires. But if you know what class you want to play in the future and you have an extra character slot just sitting there, what you can do is that you can make a character, use the pass on the character, and after you use the pass, just don't pick the advanced class yet. So what was told to me by the Discord was that what you can do is that for Destroyer, they had a pass that was going to expire before Destroyer came out. So they made a warrior and then just use the power pass on it. Now before they went to the Trixon and pick the class, they just left the character there with the pass already used. And once Destroyer came out, he was able to go in and choose Destroyer and then have the effect of the pass applied to them. So this is a really useful trick that I think will be helpful to know. So if you're not interested in anything that's currently out there and don't want to waste a pass, you could potentially use it for a future class like Reapers, Skelters, all the good stuff. Next up is another Hyper Express event where it will boost the honing from 1302 to 1370. And it's something that's helpful even if you don't have another ult. that you want to take it to 1370 because the rewards are going to be quite good if the last event's an indication. The Welcome Challenge is getting replaced by Makoko Challenge. So this is going to be a buff that can boost accounts. So if you have a new account or haven't played in the past 30 days that don't have a character at 1370, you'll get a Makoko buff. You'll deal 20% more damage monster and take 40% less damage. After 90 days pass or the conditions yada yada, it will end. So this is gonna be kind of good for new players coming in, but my thought is that early game is already fairly unpunishing, so this could teach some very bad habits for people who are jumping into Yohos. I don't know if you guys had to run Yohos on your characters lately. Matchmaking for Yoho is kind of rough nowadays. People don't really use potions, people don't use engraving, people don't do the bare minimum for just a setup. I have a video out that shows you how to gear a character that's alt character with 3x3 meta engravings for like 2k gold. Challenge mission, so only if you have the buff will you be able to complete these missions, and if you do, you're gonna see some rewards as well. So that's gonna be good for new players. So new player experience is going to be improving drastically. So if you have a friend who wants to play the game, this is a good time for them to come and join you, especially since what they can do is get a character up high. Once they get to the 1370, they can have multiple characters that they might want to play at the near endgame level. So this is very nice. And the next big thing is the honing change. So growth support, it's just pretty much the honing buff that has been mentioned before, that was rumored to be in the game, but they decided ultimately not to put it at launch. So tier 1 honing will be 100% success rate. Tier 2 will be 100% success rate. All the costs will be cheaper, and then when you hone, you get twice the enhancement. This is massive. So if you're a new player, this is so easy to get your character to tier 3. There's also some boost for tier 3, so the chance is going to be increasing, the base success chance, and 1 to 15. This is going to be really nice because it's going to make any ults much easier to take to 1370 and start doing the endgame stuff. Ultimately, all of that combined, I think is a really good move between the Makoko challenge and complete revamp of the early honing with the power passes. It's going to be a drastic improvement for the new player experience. So definitely, I will personally be telling some of my friends to come back and play, especially since they tried it earlier on and then just, they give them up early because of the early honing. This is going to be a really good chance for them to actually play the game and see if they actually enjoy it. Next thing is added daily login track reward. Okay, that's really good. So from what I understand, we're going to get the current login rewards and the new stuff at the same time. So you're not going to miss out on your current rewards. So don't panic. Adds a new prevention to deter gold sellers. Pay gold purchased from currency exchange will have 3-day withholding period. Gold that's under the withholding period will be called withheld funds. Gold without available funds. Restricted, they cannot be used an auction house, etc., etc. So you can only use it on yourself. So say if you're someone who's willing in the game that just wants to use the gold to home, this is totally fine. This is not going to affect you much. But what this does prevent is actually like the more nefarious side of the RMTing. So it's the people who will buy stolen credit cards off the internet that gotten through identity theft and just max it out and really ruin some people's lives. So this actually will be really good because they can't just do the massive scan and then really impact the economy in that way. And this is not going to affect most people, but it's going to just affect like the most grievous form of the scams. And I think it's a good move, even though it does affect the people who spent a lot of money in the game itself. And if people want to talk about predatory monetization, this single move, it's pretty much the opposite of that. Like it's directly hurting people who want to legitimately pump money into the studio itself, but it is a good step to help prevent victims that might otherwise be really screwed over with the RMTs and some of the stuff that people do with RMTs. The next thing is the jukebox for Stronghold. Some people will be excited, but nobody likes my Stronghold, even though I work hard on it. So yeah, this won't affect me, but you could play different music in your Stronghold if you want to make it a cool place to hang out. If you some people make like interesting mazes and things like that for the Stronghold. So this is a really nice change for people who enjoys building their Stronghold really uniquely. Next up, we're gonna see the effects of budget cuts on the wardrobe department now. But as you can see, we're getting the summer skins, and some of them are really skimpy for the men, and for the ladies, this is very skimpy bikinis. So some people are waiting for skins exactly like this, and I think people will be very excited to have them. This is kind of, I know some of my viewers in my previous patch notes have specifically asked for things like this, so there you go. Really interesting, actually. I might get one of these myself. It's a chariot with pretty much a sea creature, and you just ride it on the shell. That's very interesting. Starfish pets. I want this one, actually. Yeah, just complete side tangent. I must have this one. I'm getting the bottom right one. The moment it's released, I will be purchasing it. Rohandel's Destiny Arcanist exclusive skin. I don't like this one as much. I actually really love the Glavier skin because it has a Monkey King theme. But General Store add a new weapon growth pack, refresh 2 growth supporter packs, and so you can buy one of those per month. Growth packs just have materials like honing materials and everything else. They're not really that worth buying, so I personally wouldn't buy them at all. So yeah, definitely I would pass them unless you just want to throw some money and support the game. Yeah, don't feel pressure to spend, especially if you're a free-to-play player. Now, added Power Pass can be purchased on the Character Select UI by pressing the Power Pass button. 5 passes available, each corresponding to a major continent. Other passes are for different continents, so 1100 royal crystals per continent. Whew, that's very intense. So yeah, if you're using the pass on someone who already made progression, you will actually cost less crystals. Okay, this seems very interesting, and yeah, of course it's not gonna be for everyone. I already have my characters at Punica. I have too many Punica characters between my own progression and all the passes they give us. But for new players who wants to just catch up, or new players who wants to spend some money and just skip some of the stuff, this is fine. Is it pay to win? I know everyone will be thinking that, and the answer is absolutely pay to win, but at the same time, not to the egregious amount that I really would be bothered by it. So ultimately, this will be a time saver for a lot of people, and most of my free-to-play friends already have pretty much a filled roster, and probably economically speaking, this is one of the worst ways to spend your money. So I'm not too worried at all. I adjusted price and card quantities in a special card package. We'll see how that is, because right now the special card package is the worst deal ever. Added summer die pack, some battle support package, new item complete crystal pack for tier 3. So we're gonna see how that is once it is in the store. I will probably do an analysis on the in-game store since there's so many new things that's coming in. So yeah, stay tuned for that. So if you have someone who wants to join the game, this is definitely a good time to do it. And for people who are really busy and wants to just spend some money to fast track the progression, they can definitely spend some money on the new passes, even though I personally wouldn't at all. This is just the worst way to spend the money, in my personal opinion, just in terms of how efficient it is to spend money that way. So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the other videos, especially once the patch drops. There should be one on both the event and one on the new items that are coming out in the shop. So thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.